Well, hello and welcome to another family time. This week we've got lots of people joining us. And before we start, I just want to get a few things off my back. Do you know there's things that I really hate? In fact, I've been a bit of a grump because, this lockdown's getting to me, and there's a few things I just want to mention. For example, you probably think the same as me on these ones, but don't you hate it when you're in the car and you come to the green light and you're about to go through it and it turns to red and you have to wait? Really annoying, isn't it? Or, who leaves a toilet seat up? I mean, why do that? You put it down. I hate that. Or toothpaste. You squeeze it from the bottom of the tube towards the top, not in the middle. Who squeezes toothpaste in the middle? Or see when you're watching a film and it gets so, actually any part of the film really, not just the good bit, and somebody talks the whole way through it. Really annoys me. Really hate that. Do you know, there's lots of things that we hate. And I wonder if you can guess what the top 3 hates of an 8-year-old are. How we're going to do this is, you have to get a bit of paper, push pause when I say go, and write down as many hates as you can and see if you can guess the top 3. Okay? So the top 3 hates of an 8-year-old, go! So, how did you get on? I've got the answers here, and coming in at number 3 is vegetables. How can you hate vegetables? I love them. Brussels sprouts, fantastic. Or being told to turn the Xbox, PlayStation, computer game, whatever it is off. You know, that is annoying, particularly when you get to a good part of the game, when you've been on it for ages. But coming in at number 1 is being told, let's see if you get this one right, being told to go to bed. Isn't that really annoying? Don't you hate it when the adult says, go to bed? Things that we hate. Well, actually, the world is full of hate. We see it in the TV all the time and round about. But we're not going to look at hate. We're going to look at exactly the opposite. We're going to look at love. But what is love? It's a bit of a funny word. What does it actually mean? Well, to find out what it means, we have to go to a certain company, actually, has looked into the word love and has got lots of statements about what love means. So I've got a few people helping me, and the company's called Love Hearts. They produce sweets, and they've got all the statements written on them. So let's look at and see what it has to say. Oh, love is... You ready? Sugar lips. Seriously? Well, let's see how all the others got on. What did you find out?
Love is awesome, like me.
I love you.
Love is smiley face.
My angel.
Well, let's see, what does yours say?
Mine says loving you. What does yours say?
Mine says real love.
Yes. I love you.
Love is dream boy.
I don't think much of those answers. Do you know, if you want to find out what love means, probably the best place to go is the Bible. And interestingly enough, in the English language, there's only one word for the word love, and that is love. Whereas in the Greek, there's 6 words. Lots of ways of describing love. One of the words means that gooey, soppy, kissy, cuddly, kind of love. That's not the word we're going to look at. The one we're going to look at is called agape love. And agape love is the most precious, special, treasured, wonderful love. In fact, you can't get a greater love than agape love. And agape love says, I will put you first. Not myself first, but you first. I'll look out for what you want, not what I want. And Jesus showed this the whole way through his life, constantly showing love, caring for people, looking out for them, praying to his Father for them. He was constantly showing love. And the ultimate, the biggest, the greatest way he showed that love was he was willing to die on a cross and come back to life. In fact, there's a verse in the Bible that says, there is no greater love than being willing to die for somebody else. Now that's the kind of love that Jesus has for us. There's a wonderful verse in the Bible Ephesians 5 verse 1 and 2, and it says this: imitate God, therefore, in everything you do, because you are his dear children. Live a life filled with love, following the example of Christ. He loved us and offered himself as a sacrifice for us, a pleasing aroma of God. In other words, copy Jesus. Imitate him, it says. That means to copy somebody, to do what they do. And Jesus says, I want you to copy me and show people the love that I have for you to other people. So when they see you and what you do, they'll see a wee glimpse of what I'm like. So instead of thinking, what can I get? What can I have? What about other people? What do they need? What can I do for them? How can I show them Jesus' love? Copying him. And he describes it a bit like a pleasing smell. There's lots of smells, particularly in the Old Testament of the Bible. And some of the smells weren't particularly pleasant, but some of them were really, really nice. And he said it's that smell. It's like when you get into a car, it's got an air freshener, or in the house, and you think, oh, I like that smell. He says, be that pleasing smell. Copy me, that people think, I like that, I want that. So how can we do that? How can we follow Jesus and be like him? Now, Martha's going to help us look at this question, and each week we're going to have a Martha's question time. So over to you, Martha. Help us. How do we answer that question? How do we be like Jesus?
Thanks, Bruce. What does it mean to you to follow Jesus, to be a sweet smell for him?
Thanks, Martha, for asking that question. I think to be like Jesus, we need to follow God's plan for our lives. I think we need to pray every day and ask God for help. And I think we need to be kind. When I was a child, I learned a song at Sunday school called Jesus' Hands Were Kind Hands, doing good to all. And I think that's a really good place to start when we think about how we can be like Jesus.
I think it means spreading God's love wherever we go and making the world a more pleasant place to be wherever we can.
That means to me to maybe put other people first and to try and do what's right rather than what's maybe easiest. Sometimes I might need to take a step back before I say or do something to think about it and to just think, well, what would Jesus do? And just try my very best to do that.
For me, it means seeing the good in everybody and loving them with a big heart.
Thanks, everyone. Some great answers here.
Good answers. Thank you, Martha. Look forward to hearing what you have for us next week. You know, we live in a world full of hate, and we're very quick ourselves to say what we hate, what we don't like, what we don't want. Whereas Jesus says, stop. Show agape love, that real love for somebody else, where you're that sweet, pleasant smell, where we're copying what Jesus is like in the love that he shows us to other people. And we need to ask him to help us to do that. A couple of challenges we're going to have to help us think through how we can show that agape love to other people.
Okay, everybody. So today we are learning what it means to follow Jesus and his teachings and his word and his example, especially with regard to love. So I've got a challenge for you today. I would like you to see if you can follow my words and do something for me. So for this, you're going to need a piece of paper, any size, and a pen. You can pause me while you go and get that and restart me when you get back. Okay, have you got everything? Good. So in the middle of your piece of paper, at the bottom, I would like you to draw a fairly large square. On top of that square, I would now like you to draw me a triangle. Okay, now in the middle of the square that you drew, at the bottom, I would like you to draw me a rectangle. At the top right of your square, I would like you to draw me a square, smaller than the first one. And in the top left of the square you drew, I'd like you to draw me another smaller square. Now in the top right hand of your whole piece of paper, I would like you to draw me a circle. And now I would like you to draw me about 8 straight lines coming out from that circle all the way around. And now on the top left of your whole piece of paper, I would like you to draw me a squiggly shape. Okay, so following my instructions, I'm hoping that this is what you've produced. If you didn't, don't worry about it. It's tricky to follow instructions. So today, if we're thinking about trying to follow Jesus, we do struggle to do that in our own strength. But remember, we're not doing it by ourselves. If we pray and ask God to help us, He'll help us to get better at following His instructions and following His examples to be like Him.
Our next challenge today is a craft challenge. We're going to make an Agape Love chatterbox. So, if you haven't made one of these before, you'll be able to find instructions on how to do that by going on YouTube and looking at how to make a chatterbox. So on this one, what I need you to do is on the outside layer, I want you to think about different ways that Jesus showed agape love for others. But on the inside layer, I want you to think about ways that you can show agape love for others. And then as for this layer in the middle, I've popped on the names of some people who I love. So what we're going to do is Sam and I are going to show you how to play with this chatterbox. Okay, Sam, if you could choose a way that Jesus showed his love for others.
Healed.
Healed. And now choose a name from here.
Georgina.
Okay, Georgina. And now choose another name.
John.
John. Okay, what's Sam going to have to do? Oh, excellent. Do a chore without being asked.
Fine then.
Excellent. I hope you have lots of fun showing your love through this craft this week. Have a great week. Bye now.